River. The plan to fix the problem. We have weather team coverage tonight.
Starting with breaking news right now, we do have reports of trees down and some widespread power outages in Warren County. A tree and some power lines came crashing down on top of a car, trapping the driver.
There is also a report of a mudslide on Highway 3, making part of the road impassable there. Entergy is reporting about 600 customers without power right now. A lot of reports coming into our newsroom. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist David Hartman for your weather first.
Well, during the 5 o'clock news, we had a big line of gusty wind move across the area, 30 to 40 miles per hour. No damage reported in the metro area, but that line now stretching from, well, down near Puckett towards Pelahatchie, and then it weakens as it heads up into the southwestern parts of Leake County. Big area of rain, heavy rain across south of Mississippi, more rain in northeast Louisiana headed our way. Let's go over to our other radar source, and you can see it in motion. Boy, look at these downpours down here in Louisiana. They will move up into southeast Mississippi, and this rain here in central Louisiana will overspread parts of our area. So this big line move through, may get a little bit of a break, but more on the way. But it looks like the heaviest rain winding down, and that is good news. Now we have to get ready for some possible record cold, and I'll talk about that coming up.
Okay, David, well, emergency crews blocked off a parking lot where Big Rig got stuck in the high water this morning in Gluckstadt. Viewer Jared Powell sent us this picture of the flooding at the Nissan trading warehouse. No word tonight if crews were able to get the truck out. Well, we do have team coverage of the flash flooding tonight. The roads aren't the only things impacted by all of this floodwater.
As 16 WAPT's Scott Simmons found out, all the high water is putting alligators in some unfamiliar territory.
An alligator is just as scary as you are them.
Flowood Officer Heath Taylor was on the hunt. Floodwaters are pushing into neighborhoods and bringing with them various animals. The most alarming case came Sunday when a 9-foot alligator was sitting alongside Lakeland Drive. It was captured, and Taylor says it was the second alligator they retrieved this weekend.
These alligators are exploring territory they've never explored before in their life because they've got water to travel now. Yeah. This alligator came up this creek. We've had them several times here. When the water gets up, they'll come up. They'll either go this way or they'll go this way.
Wildlife and Fisheries says that alligator that was retrieved on Lakeland Drive will not be going back to its habitat. Typically, they say anything above 7 feet, they have to put down because otherwise that gator will just go back where it came from.
It's the liability. We don't want to take an animal that large and take a chance on it hurting somebody.
Randy Newell with Wildlife and Fisheries says it's not just alligators and snakes being pushed further inland, but deer too.
These animals, they're confused right now. They're out of their normal routine. These floodwaters are going to go down. These animals will go back to where they were, but it's going to take time. This water's not going to go down in a couple of days.
An added consequence of rising water, but wildlife officials say if you see alligators and snakes too close by, call them to remove them and don't try something like this on your own. Scott Simmons, 16 WAPT News.
Now, at last check, Highway 51 was closed at Yandell Road in Canton. Rising water made it impassable. A state trooper and a Madison County deputy blocked off Highway 51. A 92-year-old died in a crash nearby this morning on Highway 51 and Hoy Road. Well, heavy downpours made for dangerous roads through Canton.
16 WAPT's Marcus Hunter continues our team coverage of the flash flooding.
More heavy rain Monday made for the perfect storm and caused more roads and neighborhoods to flood once again. In Canton, several neighborhoods saw early morning flooding.
This morning about 3:30, all that water was up everywhere out here. So road was flooding and ditches were flooding too.
The heavy rains in the area weighed down one tree so much that it came crashing down.
It did not fall from the ground where it fell because it was half rotten. You know, you can look at that by the stump on the end of it, just a little bit was holding. So I guess with the leaves on it and the water got heavy on it, just brought it on down.
Road manager Lawrence Morris says this is the second time in 2 weeks that a tree has fallen.
Here at this plant in Gluckstadt, several cars were in this parking lot when it flooded and they had to be pulled out. As for the driver who's still sitting in that 18-wheeler, well, he's still waiting for help to arrive. And here off of Old Jackson Road, I'm actually not standing in front of a lake. I'm standing in front of a house. And the owner of this house says all this water piled up in just a couple of hours.
In Madison County, Marcus Hunter for 16 WAPT News.
Well, all of this flooding is causing an environmental concern. Sewer water is getting into the Pearl River. The city of Jackson is installing some flow monitors to tell where smelly stormwater is coming into the system. This is a big problem for the Environmental Protection Agency. It says that water could be dangerous if people drink it or swim in it. That's why the city is having constant meetings to monitor the risk.
We have what you call a sewer system overflow. Whenever we get all this water from the Pearl River rises and infiltrates our sewer system.
It sounds like a health risk.
Well, it is. It is. So we have put up signs that we don't want people getting in that water.
The city of Jackson says the problem starts with a manhole on Jefferson Street, but crews are working to fix it. It's just one of dozens of sewer overflow problems leaders say they can fix when the money comes in from the 1% sales tax increase that voters accepted early this year.
The new alert system from the National Weather Service may have given you an early wake-up call today. It sent out weather smartphone alerts starting before 5 this morning. Officials first used the new system back during the recent ice storm. Remember to use our 16 WAPT smartphone app for your latest news and weather. You can download it now and check out the interactive radar and even track the storms in your area. Make sure you also head to our website at WAPT.com.
Commitment 2014 now. The candidates in the Jackson mayoral runoff go head-to-head tonight. It will be the first of several forums and debates between Tony Yarber and Chokwe Antar Lumumba. They each grabbed 31% of the vote in last week's special election to replace late Mayor Chokwe Lumumba. The runoff is next week. They will square off at 7 tonight at Tougaloo College and the Benny G. Thompson building. We are getting questions for the candidates on our Feedback 16 line.
The 1% sales tax. How can they guarantee me that that money is going to be allocated for the purpose in which it was originally to be allocated for?
Just for the debate coming up, the question for them to ask the two people running for mayor, do they think the city of Jackson need to build their own jailhouse? If the jailhouse in Raymond in bad condition.
Well, we want to hear from you tonight. Tell us the questions for the candidates. Call the Feedback 16 line at 601-355-1616.
And again, you may hear some of your questions at our runoff mayoral debate coming up on Wednesday night. We're again partnering with the Clarion Ledger to host the debate at Mississippi College School of Law. It starts at 7. It will air right here on 16 WAPT and at WAPT.com. The election is coming up next Tuesday, April 22nd.
The trial for a teen charged with murder in Jackson that was scheduled to begin today has been delayed. Andrea Lowe is accused of gunning down Orlando Mormont in June. Police say the 17-year-old tried to buy drugs from Mormont and his cousin at Cedar Stone Apartments. Police found the man's body in the woods hours later. Prosecutors say robbery was the motive. The trial is now set for July 14th. A busy overnight for Jackson police. They are trying to find out who's behind an early morning gas station break-in. It happened at Sprint Mart right off Northside Drive. Someone smashed in the glass on the front door. No word what was taken.
Police are also looking for suspects after 5 shootings in just 2 hours. One was a drive-by late last night outside a home on Raymond Road and Flowers Drive. A family was inside the home, including a little girl, but no one was hurt. Meantime, 2 people were shot in the legs, one of them at Hideaway Lounge on Oklahoma Street, another on Gallatin Street. The 3 men accused in a police chase on County Line Road are due in court tomorrow. Investigators say undercover officers were just about to arrest Paul Maddox, John Hargrave Jr., and Jeremy Davis Thursday for selling drugs when they sped off and tried to run over the officers. The chase started in the Lowe's parking lot and ended a few blocks away near Mattress Firm in Ridgeland. An officer shot one of those suspects during the chase. Now to a 16 WAPT investigation. We broke the story of an internal memo where Hinds County inmates claim guards forced rival gangs together before a gang fight turned into a deadly jail riot.
Supervisor Kenny Stokes and Hinds County Sheriff Tyrone Lewis have been going back and forth about this investigation.
Any comments made by any other person other than the lead investigators of this case, there are obstructing justice. They are tampering with witnesses, and they're impeding on an open investigation.
The sheriff says Supervisor Stokes needs to let investigators do their job, and his involvement could hinder the case. But